Ancient folklore says the horns Amused Sup Unicorn Paddleboard one shirt of humans and 2 times more than elephants, a diameter 2 or 3 times what they wear. The ancient sources mention both the horn of heaven and of Maori, or the world mind. So if it was an old legend, then I feel confident in putting it into the giant category of mythical beings. The best known of this species, the E, was the size of a mammoth, covered in hair, and is thought to have had a sup unicorn paddleboard one amused shirt large horn protruding from its forehead. Hence the title, Siberian unicorn. According to early estimated descriptions, the beast stood around 2 meters, 6.56 feet, tall, 4.5 meters, 14.76 feet, long, and weighed an impressive 4 tons. You know, I just binged Camp Cretaceous yesterday and it had a typical dinosaur chasing scene. The entire system is so unbelievably fucked up and people aren't outraged about it because it doesn't personally affect them or hasn't personally impacted them yet. The short of it is that the medical industry in the US is for profit and the people that profit can spend a fraction of what they make off it to keep the right people in place to make sure the system doesn't change. Couple that with powerful propaganda and an ever-decreasing level of education and lack of critical thinking skills, you get a system that perpetually maintains the process of Amused Sup Unicorn Paddleboard one shirt putting money into the pockets of people that maintain the control. At some point, everyone is going to realize the system is bad, but by the time they do, they will already have mortgaged the future for the present. It's sad, angering, and frustrating at the same time. I could be completely wrong here, but I always thought of it as a cultural thing. Amused Sup Unicorn Paddleboard one shirt, tank top, V-neck, sweatshirt and hoodie, sweatshirt, hoodie, V-neck, tank top, where protagonists duck Amused Sup Unicorn Paddleboard one shirt dino charges right through the tree. And I thought to myself, there is no way animals, even at that size, are that powerful. My thought process was how cars or other vehicles can barely move trees upon impact. Only strong winds can take down trees. After seeing this rhino make light work of approximately 1 ton, there's a good chance dinos would make it through a tree like paper. If a 60 to 70 ton tank going at Amused Sup Unicorn Paddleboard one shirt full speed cannot clear some of these trees, it's a safe bet to assume that no dinosaur ever could. Then again, it depends entirely on the tree in question. I guess that any tree that's big enough for a human to cover behind is a no. Yeah, all mammals have the same configuration of forelimb and hind limb joints. It's just that in most ungulates, hoofed mammals, they are standing on finger and toe tips, with extended hands and feet. What people think are their elbows and knees are actually their wrists and ankles. And their biceps and quads are shorter, powerful, and closer to the body. The biggest problem is that the number of people with jobs that provide good insurance is just enough to keep the system going, and the Amused Sup Unicorn Paddleboard one shirt anecdotally supports the existing process. Most people with good insurance are so utterly dependent on it or so utterly comfortable with it that they don't take a step back and realize that they are the minority, or that even with their good insurance the system is still bullshit. I have good Amused Sup Unicorn Paddleboard one shirt insurance, but I desperately need a good consultation on my back to investigate the status. I won't be able to really figure out anything for at least 6 months, and most likely it will be determined that I'll need to have my back fused. But that's at least a year's worth of bullshit administration and insurance work before I even figure out what to do, and then surgery and the recovery. Other products.